vapid, vacuous, mindless, brainless politician. I'm including Joe Biden. I'm including Dan Quayle. I'm including Klobuchar. I'm including AOC. I'm including the entire gamut. Cash Money G. Fannie Willis. There is nobody in the history of politics that is this despicable, spreading lies and misinformation so blatantly, has zero substance, didn't answer a single question. Not one question did she answer with any substance. All she did, literally the entire time, was she would revert to her premeditated, pre-rehearsed, memorized talking points. I mean, how can you dare say that Trump is going to lock people up? He's going to put American citizens, use the military against America. I mean, what are you talking about? After this guy took a bullet for democracy, this guy's had 3, maybe even more, 3 that we know about, assassination attempts. He literally took a bullet for democracy. He's already a billionaire. He already has notoriety and fame. He doesn't need any more fame. He can literally relax, be a loving husband, father, and grandfather, hang out on the beach, go play golf every day. He's literally doing this for us. How can you vapid, dark, empty soul, how can you have the audacity to say that he doesn't love America, that he's actually going to use the military against Americans? This is like insane. You can't even say this is Matrix Nazi rhetoric. It's worse than that. I mean, it is like having such a zero depth, zero intelligence, zero critical thinking skills. You are just an absolute black belt in lying. I just don't get it. I really don't understand. She didn't answer a single question. I think Bret Baier actually did a pretty good job. I think it started off hot too. He mentioned on X it was only going to be 30 minutes. It was 30 minutes. He mentioned it was pre-recorded, but there was no editing. I think that, by the way, what do you guys think? Do you think that it was edited? Do you think anything was cut out? I don't think anything was edited. I don't think anything was cut out. I think she was forced to give this interview because she's been getting so much pressure that she hasn't gotten a single real interview. Colbert is a joke. 60 Minutes was a joke. They edited out everything. Her sit down with Dana Bash and having Tampon Tim sit there with her was an absolute unequivocal joke. It just seemed like this was maybe the first time that she ever had. I think this is the first time she's ever had a real interview, maybe even in her entire life. I don't know. And it came out really, really bad for her. I got pretty heated. I just can't stand it. If there's one thing I hate, especially when it comes to a country I love, a country I was born and raised in, a country my kids were born and raised in, a country I want my great grandkids to be proud of, and I see this absolute abomination. Actually, people are voting for this filth. They're voting for this maniacal lying. I mean, she lies like it's breathing oxygen. She lies with such ease and comfort. And she didn't answer a single question. I'm very happy that Bret Baier actually asked. This is the thing that I was hoping one of Trump's advisors would tell Trump to do in their only debate. I said this, and Bret Baier actually asked the question, and I want to pose this to you. I wanted Trump, before David Muir and all the fake news media asked him a question, I wanted Trump to literally turn to Kamala. If I ever see Kamala, I'm going to do this. Turn to Kamala and say, you were around this guy for 4 years. Vegetable in Chief Biden has made some of the most consequential decisions, irrevocable decisions. The Middle East is in absolute bedlam. The whole world is in chaos. We're in never-ending forever wars. Our economy's in the trash. Gas, groceries, the bare necessities. Crime is up. The border is in the worst border in the history of our country. Why didn't you tell the American public that this guy was a vegetable and it wasn't getting better. You said, and I have receipts, she said this on camera, she said this on an interview, that she was around Joe Biden every single day for 4 years, and she said he was sharp as a tack. I wanted Trump to turn to her and say, now that we're live in front of hundreds of millions of people, tell the American public, why didn't you say anything? And if she says, well, he was until the debate, first of all, we know that's BS. But secondly, that shows you've got the perceptiveness of a corpse. You want to be the highest executive in the land, and you don't even have the acuity, you don't even have the perceptiveness. Leaders need to be sharp. You don't even have the wherewithal, the presence of mind to see that this guy's a declining vegetable who's making unbelievably irreversible, damaging decisions for the rest of the American public. I'm glad that Bret Baier asked that. And did you see her response? How did she respond? Oh, I think Joe Biden. First of all, I want to talk about Trump. Madam Vice President, the border is the worst border crisis in history. Don't you want to apologize to these families? I think Trump should apologize. Madam Vice President, you said that you want to give transgender illegal migrant people free surgery on the taxpayers' bill. I think Donald Trump wanted to do that. Madam Vice President, we have the worst crime rates. We have a skyrocketing, the FBI just revised their crime rate. It's up 4.5% nationally. Why do you still support defund the police? Well, I think Trump. Everything's Trump. The world is Trump's fault. The economy's Trump's fault. The border's Trump's fault. Everything's Trump's fault. You've had power 12 of the last 16 years. Your hypocrisy-filled, lion-ass dog party has had control over the government for the last 12 of 16 years. Stop playing. You know what? You know what the sign of a pathetic human being is? You know what the sign of a failed leader is? Zero accountability. Look me in the eye right now. My fellow Americans, look me in the eye right now. You've been around people like this, whether it's a family member, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a coworker, a neighbor, a longtime friend, a BFF. You've been around that person that never, ever says, it's my fault. I know you have, because I know I have. What's it feel like to be around that person? Tell me right now in the comments. What's it feel like to be around that person who never, ever, ever says it's their fault about anything and always points the finger at someone else? What's it like to be around that person? Let me know in the comments down below, because I know what it feels like. It feels like utter garbage. It feels like you're absolutely dealing with a cornered, wounded, ridiculous, low IQ, low-brow creature that has nothing better to do but to point the finger at everybody else and takes zero accountability. It feels awful. Let me know in the comments. Stephen H. says, hell. Frustrating. Yep. Sowing Seed says frustrating. Yeah, I know. I am, because I just, I know. And I got a bunch of morons, trolling. I know. I got a bunch of people on. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I got a bunch of morons trolling me too on X and saying, oh, you're just talking. Why are you yelling so much? I'm sorry. You know what? Guess what? It's my channel. It's my channel. You don't like it? Go somewhere else. That's fine. But I'll tell you why. Let me justify why I'm getting so heated up and why I'm so angry and why I'm so pissed off and why I'm yelling so much. Because this vermin, this DEI hire who has zero qualifications, zero skills, zero leadership acumen. She has no business even stepping foot, breathing a single molecule anywhere near the vicinity of the White House. She's actually got 50% of the vote so far. There's actual Americans who are placing their sacred civic duty, casting a vote, a constitutional liberty and freedom that millions have sacrificed for. They're casting it for this phony, deceitful, despicable, vile, brainless, heartless, soulless, vapid thing. I'm also contradicting myself because I've said many times I don't attack people, I attack ideas. It's hard not to, I mean, it's just time and time again. I can't just sit back and go, I'm going to listen to this. It makes my blood boil. It makes my chest. I've got a locomotive dashing through my chest as we speak. I am a proud father, husband. This beautiful country called America, this beautiful, the greatest country ever invented, has given me every single opportunity. It breaks my heart to no end to see millions of Americans suffering. And I know exactly why they're suffering, because these deceitful, dishonest, vapid, ridiculous, unqualified leaders, the swamp vermin, are passing legislation that's un-American. It's anti-American, as a matter of fact. I know these people. I've worked with these people. I have something that no other channel has. I don't just call myself professor for kicks and giggles. I was commissioned by Washington, my universities, to go work with these people in Washington. They're all the same. They're all the same as the cutthroat, ruthless, power-hungry academics. It's the same exact person. They've never done a real job in their life. They have no idea what it's like to go in the arena. They sit behind cushy desks, pencil pushing, signing documents they don't even understand, passing and ruling over people that they have zero connection to. I know these people. They are literally swamp vermin. I know them through and through. I've dealt with them for decades.